Welcome to the Azure Fundamentals Quiz. Let's see how well you understand the core services and architecture of Microsoft Azure through these 50 important questions. Question 1. What is Azure primarily known as? Question 2. Which of the following best defines an Azure resource group? Question 3. What does an Azure subscription link to? Question 4. Which tool provides a browser-based interface to manage Azure resources? Question 5. What is an Azure region? Question 6. What is the purpose of availability zones in Azure? Question 7. Which service lets you interact with Azure via terminal or command line? Question 8. A tenant in Azure refers to what? Question 9. What are Azure management groups used for? Question 10a. What is the main purpose of Azure tags? Question 11. Which service gives personalized recommendations to optimize Azure resources? Question 12. What's the difference between Azure Preview and GA? Question 13. Which service allows you to track Azure outages and issues in real time? Question 14. Which of the following helps define reusable infrastructure templates? Question 15. What type of service is Azure Marketplace? Question 16. What is the purpose of a service level agreement or SLA in Azure? Question 17. Which feature helps enforce organizational standards in Azure? Question 18. Which Azure tool allows you to access a Bash or PowerShell shell from your browser? Question 19. Free services in Azure are available under which offer? Question 20. What does ARN stand for in Azure? Question 21. Which component ensures consistent deployment across environments in Azure? Question 22.I. Which Azure component provides real-time billing and usage analysis? Question 23. Azure blueprints are mainly used to what? Question 24. Which of the following is a platform as a service in Azure? Question 25. Which command line tool is cross-platform for managing Azure? Question 26.I. Which of the following applies JSON format for deployment? Question 27. The Azure pricing calculator is used to what? Question 28. What is the benefit of Azure's global infrastructure? Question 29. Which Azure service helps manage identity and access control? Question 30. Which Azure model offers shared responsibility between Microsoft and the customer? Question 31. Azure Cloud Shell can run which types of shells? Question 32. What is the function of Azure Resource Locks? Question 33. Azure SLAs typically cover which of the following? Question 34. Which service provides updates about new Azure capabilities? Question 35.5. Which Azure feature enables budgeting and cost alerts? Question 36. Which one of the following is not an Azure deployment model? Question 37. In Azure, what is the default scope for a policy? Question 38. Which statement is true about Azure tenants and subscriptions? Question 39. Which Azure tool allows you to visualize resource costs over time? Question 40. Which of these is considered a free tier Azure service? Question 41. Daradu. Which of the following helps implement zero trust networking? Question 42. How can you automate repetitive resource deployments in Azure? Question 43. Which of these tools is not used to deploy Azure resources? Question 44. Azure tags are stored as what? Question 45. What is the function of Azure policy? Question 46. Which Azure tool checks best practices for resources? Question 47. Which Azure role allows full access to manage all resources? Question 48. What is the purpose of Azure tenants? Question 49. Azure AI commands start with which keyword? Question 50. What is the function of Azure Resource Graph? Great job! You've just completed 50 questions on Azure Fundamentals. Keep learning and follow Full Stack Dev for more cloud-focused quizzes and deep dive content.